Around 1479 BC Thebes, Egypt. Inside a temple, a young queen named Hatshepsut watches as her husband is laid to rest. He was the Pharaoh Thutmose II. She was his queen and his half-sister. Now he is dead. Hatshepsut was born to power. Her father was Thutmose I, a great warrior king. She had married her own half-brother to keep the royal line pure. She also held a powerful religious office, God's wife of Amun. But when her husband died, he left no son by her. His heir was a small boy, born to a lesser wife. That boy became Pharaoh in name, as Thutmose III. Hatshepsut was named his regent. She was meant to govern only until he grew up. For a few years, that is exactly what she did. Then something changed. Within about 7 years, Hatshepsut stopped calling herself regent. She took the full title of Pharaoh. She had herself crowned as king, not queen. In the art of her reign, she appears in the royal kilt and the false beard of a male ruler. Egypt had known powerful queens before. It had almost never known a woman who claimed the throne itself. Holding that throne meant proving she belonged on it. So she built her case in stone. She declared that the god Amun was her true father. She covered temple walls with the story of her divine birth. At Karnak, she raised 2 towering granite obelisks, among the tallest Egypt had ever seen. She did not rule alone. She relied on trusted officials, above all a man named Senenmut. He was born a commoner and rose to steward her kingdom and tutor her daughter. Her reign was not marked by war. It was marked by trade and building. She sent a famous expedition far south to a distant land called Punt. Her artists recorded the ships coming home, heavy with incense trees, gold, ebony, and myrrh. Her greatest monument still stands today at Deir el-Bahari. It is a temple of long stone terraces, rising in tiers against a sheer cliff. For about 2 decades, Egypt was stable and rich. Then Hatshepsut died. Her stepson, Thutmose III, finally took sole power. He turned out to be one of the greatest warrior kings in Egyptian history. He expanded the empire further than any pharaoh before him, and for years after her death, her monuments stood untouched. Then, late in his reign, something strange began. Across Egypt, Hatshepsut's images were attacked. Her face was hacked from temple walls. Her name was chiseled out of inscriptions. Her statues were smashed to pieces and buried in pits near her own temple. Someone was trying to erase her from history itself. For a long time, this looked like revenge. The obvious story was that Thutmose had hated his stepmother and struck at her memory the moment he was free. But the timing did not fit. The attacks came about 20 years after she died, not in the first rush of power. If it was personal hatred, why wait so long? Many historians now believe the truth was colder. It was politics. By erasing Hatshepsut, Thutmose could present an unbroken line of male kings, passing straight to his own son. She was not being punished. She was being written out quietly to smooth the succession. Whatever the reason, it nearly worked. Her broken statues lay buried in the sand for over 3,000 years. Her name faded from the king lists. For centuries, the world forgot that a woman had ruled Egypt as pharaoh. Then, in the 19th century, archaeologists reached Deir el-Bahari. They found the smashed fragments in the pits. Slowly, piece by piece, they began to put her reign back together. They rebuilt her story from the very rubble meant to bury it. One question remained. Her body was missing. For decades, no one could say which mummy was hers. Then, in 2007, researchers matched a single tooth to a mummy long ignored in a nearby tomb. Many now believe it is Hatshepsut. The woman someone tried to erase had been found.